I am personally very excited about Geoinspirations. The idea is that we all are sitting here kind of in a virtual environment, many of us with our cameras off, and we don't really know who everybody is, and we wanted to foster more of a community, something that more akin to what happens at the Geospatial Summit and the ESRI, not the ESRI conference, the AGIC conference. And so each event, we're going to pick 3 people. We look for volunteers, or Jenna hunts you down, and we'd like to know a little bit more about you and maybe an interesting project that you're working on. But basically, we just want the opportunity to learn more about our little community here, kind of thing. So, and make this more of a forum for discussion. And as you can see, I like to ask questions. So I like to know what other people are up to because it inspires me. So I like to look beyond my little world of the 𝐀𝐫𝐢𝐂 and the U.S. Forest Service and see what else is going on. So that's Geoinspirations. So Robert, I think you volunteered, right, to talk? Am I getting that right?
Yes, I did volunteer. So I've got just a couple of comments, and I actually have 2 projects. And one of them will be really quick because it's using what we just heard about. So I'll kind of blow through that. So if I could just tell a little bit about myself. You know, Mark, you were talking about somebody that deployed, you know, before the meeting started. I spent 25 years in active duty in the Marine Corps, and then left that and worked for the government for another 3 years, and actually another 5 years. Threw up my hands and said, I'm going to go back to something that I really enjoyed, which was geography. So I came to the U of A and got a master's degree in GIST, and then started a business called Quiet Creek, and we flew drones. We were the second in the state of Arizona to get permission from the FAA to fly drones commercially, and the 43rd in the United States. It was a big deal. I had to become a private pilot to do that, and I did that while I was you know, at school getting the master's degree. So, you know, Ben was in there with me, and it, you know, any day you know of that, I could have ended up in a ball of aluminum at the end of a runway somewhere. So I'm glad I made it through both of those. We ran Quiet Creek for a while, and really what we were focused on initially, it was drones, and then it just kind of turned to you know, the father of drones, which is remote sensing. And I went to Penn State University and got a graduate certificate in remote sensing and Earth observation from Penn State, which is a really good program. Excuse me. And then, you know, just recently we changed the business from Quiet Creek to Arizona GIS to kind of better reflect. I guess sometimes they say, you know, that way we don't have the stink of the drone on us, because it was kind of hanging on there that people were thinking, oh, well, they can't do GIS, they just do drone things. So we changed the company to Arizona GIS, and we focus on remote sensing and GIS and geospatial analysis. And with that, I'm going to share the screen here, and I'm going to show a. Okay, so there we are. That's our website down there. And first thing I want to talk about is a little project that we're involved with in the Val Vidal in northern New Mexico. And the objective was to analyze tree cover and other covers over time. And we used the RC map to do that, which I think is either the same as Sarah was just talking about, or a close relative. I think they all come from these, especially with tree cover. I think they all come from the same thing, and that's the TCC out of the Forest Service. And Mark, correct me if I'm wrong on that. We have a imagery server here at Arizona GIS, so we use that, and then we use the Experience Builder, which is a part of the ArcGIS or Esri universe that's I think designed to take over from their suite of the apps that they have. And just a quick PS, that is a fantastically beautiful area up there in northern New Mexico. Folks call it the Yellowstone of the Southwest. Anyway, so this is what we did. We have we're working with a nonprofit, and they wanted to get some sort of historical feel for what's going on in this particular area. And just off to its east or west there is Comanche Creek. In 2017, we flew drones over that entire creek all the way up to like 10,500 feet with the idea of making a NDVI map of the banks of the creek. Anyway, so here's the map we came up with, and it's an experience builder, and it's got quite a bit of utility, which is why I like the experience builder now after a little bit of a uphill learning curve there. But you can see down at the bottom, it's got a lot of different tools that you can add to it, and you can put those tools wherever you want, unlike the apps that are kind of pre-made. And there's what they were looking for. They were looking for a time series of acres of this particular area, going back actually to 1985, and I'll show you that in a minute. This is from the National Land Cover Database, and it shows forested uplands. And there's a little bit of a confusion. The NLCD uses one cutoff for tree cover, and I think RC Map uses another one. We came up with our own, and you'll see that in a second. But there was a big fire there in 2004, and that's reflected really nicely. We use 30%, which is a nice thing about using RC Map, is you can use those, you can adjust those numbers how you see fit. This area here that you just saw, that's 110,000 square miles, I think is what that is. Here's here's what happened with that fire, and they were kind of looking for that. And they were also looking for all of the other things in the National Land Cover data set. So they were looking for, woody wetlands. They were looking for wetlands. They were looking for open water. All of those things that come with the NLCD. They were looking for graphs like this, and I didn't include them, to save a little bit of time. And so that's really fortunate that we were able to show that right after talk of the RAP. So the next thing I want to talk about really quickly is bobcats. And this is a 4-year study going on in Tucson. It's called bobcatsintucson.net, and you can go to their website and take a look at it. It's essentially a collection of retired wildlife biologists that are doing this for free, and then me doing it for free as well. Our part is to track and analyze each cat on a map. These cats have collars on them that transmit via the Iridium system their GPS position. Near real time, daily, we process every day about 35,000 points generated from GPS collars on, I think we're up to 19 cats right now. There's been 40 cats in all. Some of them live for the 2 years and the collars fall off. Others get hit by cars, which is really unfortunate. The requirements evolved as we went through this thing, and I started out with a little bit of code to take care of some problems, but as the requirements evolved, we're one patch after another, and we're now up to about 900 lines of really bad Python. But one of these days when I have a lot of time, I'll sit down and see if I can make that any better. But right now it works, so I'm hesitant to change it. And this is what the biologists use, kind of on a daily basis to see what's going on with the cats and where they're at. It does other analysis too. Over here on the right, We've got the convex hull of the cats. You know, their ranges essentially. And on the left, we have how far they're moving, and that's helpful for the biologist, because when a female has kittens, they stop moving, or their movement is very much less. So they can watch that, and they can go, okay, a female's had kittens, and they can go out and do some field work based on that. And that's it. Thanks so much for being able to share. I will stop sharing the screen. I hit the button. There it goes.
Cool. Thank you so much. That was really cool. So I especially like the bobcat map at the end. So
yeah. Any questions?
I feel like there should be a correlation between bobcat and lost pets, kind of thing. Somehow, but that's just me.
It probably is.
So.